Adi sir. Hello. Adi sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Yes.
Sir joined, sir. Our principal sir
Okay.
joined. Okay.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon, sir. This is Pati Tangavelu from Zillion Cube's Learning Foundation, and I am a business head, sir. Warmly welcome you, sir.
Hello, Principal sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, very warm good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am. One second, ma'am. Let me check this. It's on live. One second.
Good evening to all.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the note. Good evening, ma'am. One second, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we can go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, please. So, very warm good evening to all. It's indeed a great pleasure to welcome you all for the international webinar on securing an edge in the new normal with finance and commerce studies. This is the first time we, the Department of Commerce, Nehru Arts and Science College, joining hands with the Zillion Cube's Learning Foundation to organize such an international webinar. As you all know that commerce education will broaden your horizons in your life with specialized skills to excel in different functional areas like trade, commerce, and industry. It brings a delightful job, ample opportunities for higher education, and to be an entrepreneur finally. To explore all the possibilities of virtual learning, the department today jointly organizing international webinar with joining with Jillian Cubes to cater the gap between the learning community and the industries by providing the different inputs. At this juncture, I am delighted to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. B. Anirudhan, the man who always thinks beyond the boundaries. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
I am equally pleased and delighted to welcome today's chief guest, Dr. Sunday Ade Bello, Chief Executive Officer, Work Life Training Professional, Nigeria. Sir was a professor and today joining in your session. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. I am happy to welcome Dr. Pati, Rajkumar, and Gijo, who are committed into this blending the education technology and deliver the learning exposure across the globe from Zillion Cubes. Welcome you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do welcome Dr. Ayyapparajan, coordinator of this program, and all my team of faculty members of commerce to join this new platform. Welcome you all. My
Thank you, ma'am.
hearty welcome to all our participants who is really going to make this program as a different experience one. Welcome you all once again. Now over to principal to give the presidential address.
Good afternoon, all of you. It's wonderful to meet all of you on a digital platform. I am indeed very glad to be a part of this great initiative of bridging the gap between the academia and industry and bringing in one of the most reputed institutions across the world uh, to handhold our commerce department and the students. At the outset, I would like to congratulate and thank Dr. M. Kanakaratnam, Dr. Ayyapparajan, Mr. Pati, and all others who are directly involved with the webinar. And on the other side, the foreign institution which has come forward to support us. Uh, it's a pretty wonderful time to learn, making use of the resource available across the world. Maybe as an outcome of this pandemic, people start getting connected across the world in knowledge sharing. Otherwise, probably this kind of a knowledge sharing would not have happened. The people used to be very busy in looking at their profession and building their institutions. Now that people are ready to share as they have more time to spare with others, so there is an emerging trend in the uh, collaboration with international faculty and international knowledge database is getting strengthened. In that context, I feel this is a great initiative. Even post COVID, this kind of an association would take us forward or lead us or guide us. When I say guide us, it's directly for the learning purpose for all the teachers and students to build a better career or explore more possibilities of the professional dimensions of commerce learning. So I congratulate the department once again and thank you all for giving me an opportunity. With our foreign collaborator, we would like to look forward to have you throughout our journey hereafter. So thank you all so much. Keep well, stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. In spite of your busy schedule, you joined with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Pati, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much for giving us such a wonderful opportunity. And yes, our today's speaker, he has wholeheartedly accepted when I asked to deliver his expertise to our learning community. And Nehru Arts and Science College and Dr. Kanagaratna ma'am and Dr. Ayyapparajan sir, who has accepted and have discussed, and we have coordinated, and now we are on the board. So thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity. And yes, this is the time for the guest speaker to go ahead. And I really thank all the participants who are on both the channels of YouTube. So I really love to congratulate everyone who's so patient to come, and whenever we come up with such a webinar, give a overwhelming response to us. Thank you so much, and be patient. And today the session would be awesome, and you would be benefited highly. And thank you so much. Over to you, Sunday.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I think I will say good morning here in Nigeria and good afternoon in India. I would like to share my presentation with you. This, I'm trying to get my presentation so that I can share it with you. Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think you can see my presentation, my slides. Can you see my slide, please?
Yeah. We can. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I will start by appreciating Patty and the management team of Zillion Cube for inviting me to make this presentation this morning in Nigeria and afternoon in India. I would like to appreciate the management team of the Department of Commerce of Nehru College of Art and Science. And like the principal has just said, I think this COVID-19 is bringing a new normal that is also bridging the gap across boundary. If we have to organize this type of seminar, maybe pre-COVID, we may have to, maybe a party will have to fly me down to India. But now I'm in the comfort of my home, and all of us are in the comfort of our homes, and we are doing this together. Therefore, I want to appreciate Patty and the management team for inviting me. This morning, I'll be speaking on the topic, Secure an Edge in the New Normal with Finance and Commerce Study. And as a form of outline, we are going to look at the introduction, the new normal, why we go to school, reasons why we should study finance and commerce, about finance and commerce, the business key every profession needs, skills every leader needs no matter their industry, and our take-home code. That is my style. When I lecture, I used to give a take-home code, which is like a handy summary of the entire paper I've presented, because we are quick to forgetting things. And therefore, when I give the take-home code, at least that will summarize the entire paper, and be something that is very handy that you can remember anytime, so that when you are being asked, okay, what were you taught in the course of the lecture, you can remember the code, and that will make you to remember all the paper. And then I will conclude. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is no longer the same. Everything is changing very fast at the speed of light. Technology-wise, climate, education, tourism, health, way of life, type of music, leadership, value system, management style, and you can begin to mention all of them. Though the world has never been static, everything has always been changing. The only constant thing about life is change. Most of the changes are not what we even negotiated for, but change must just come. Whether we like it or not, change must happen. It is either we accept change or we are left behind with its attendant consequences. Everything and every change that has happened has been accompanied by a lot of negatives and a lot of positives. Now we are enjoying this new change. We are in our various homes, and we are having a lecture. This lecture should have cost us a fortune, but now we are just burning now is data to do this. And that is one of the positives that even this coronavirus change has brought. And it has brought a lot of negatives too, because a lot of people have died, a lot of people have contracted this disease, and a lot are in the hospital. Therefore, there are also negative consequences that has been brought by this pandemic. But one thing that is very important about the changes that is happening in the world is that it has made the world to become a global village. Therefore, you have to be concerned about what is going on around you, whether far or near. This coronavirus we are talking about started in Wuhan around late 2019, and before 3 months, it has gotten to every part of the world. That to show that the world is a global village. And one of the recent changes the world is currently battling with is the coronavirus pandemic, what we also call COVID-19. The effect of which the entire world is struggling to combat. It has affected every facet of human endeavor, especially the way we do things, and has brought with it a new way of living called the new normal. And in this new normal, it has affected everything, the way we live, the way we sneeze, cough, breathe, associate, assemble, interrelate, work. Even we are not permitted to hug these days. The way we go out, the way we visit people, the way we study, the way we buy, and the way we sell. If care is not taken, even the way we sleep, and above all, the way we see life, especially the transcendent nature of life. You know, most of the things that we think we cannot do without, this this new normal has made us to see that we can do without them. Some people in the past cannot do without clubbing, partying, going to realization joint, worship centers, and all that. But all these are now high risk areas that people have been prohibited from visiting. But these are places we think we cannot do without. Now, all we are left with is we have to be closer to our creator, we have to be closer to our families, our close friends and associates, which is primarily the essence of life. And in this new normal, has affected even the way we dress. Now, when we dress, we have to cover our nose. When we go, now handshake is no longer permitted. What we have now is maybe leg shake or elbow shake. In the screen, you can see the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, and the president of African Development Bank, Akinwumi Adesina, greeting themselves using elbow. They are shaking themselves with elbow. The other picture, you can see the president of Tanzania and the opposition leader greeting themselves with legs. Now, instead of handshakes, we have leg shakes, or what we call elbow shake. That is what the new normal has brought upon us. And in this new normal, with the coronavirus pandemic, many people have tested positive for the virus. Many have died. Many have recovered. Many are yet to recover. While many are even carrying the virus unknowingly, they call them asymptomatic. We have to follow simple protocols as stipulated by WHO and the Center for Disease Control in our respective country, like washing our hands regularly, wearing face masks, using tissue, avoid touching our faces, disinfect objects, and avoid crowded places. And with all these things that has happened, even if COVID-19 disappears today, it may not be possible for us to live the way we used to live. And this new reality is leaving no stone unturned, because as it dictates the way we have to teach, it's also dictating the way we have to arrange our sitting. In the olden days, you can see students clustering together and studying, but that cannot happen any longer because we are in the new normal, which has brought about new results, new changes, and new situation. And in this new normal, this is the way we have to study. You see that the lecturer is at home lecturing like we are in our various home, listening to this lecture. You can see the lady on the computer listening to lecture, and or you are on your computer or your laptop or your phone and everything listening to lecture. That is what the new normal has brought upon us. And in this new normal, a lot of people have lost their job. A lot of organizations have also gone down. Therefore, many have lost their job. Many are losing their jobs, and many are still, they don't even know whether they have lost their job or they still have the job because they are just sitting at home. Their organization has told them, okay, sit at home for now since no cash flow is coming in. Then we don't have money to pay. They are not paying them salary. Therefore, they don't even know whether they still have the job or not. And that is why this is important for us to study, to choose a course of study that will better position us for life eventualities and how to edge against them. Ladies and gentlemen, the first thing that crossed my mind when I wanted to start this up is, why do we even go to school? Well, there are many reasons why we go to school. The main reason we attend school maybe to gain skill. Is for us to gain skill and education needed to live autonomously and also successfully. School also teaches us social skills that we need in our future lives and career. Education can play a major role in our quest to achieve our dreams in life. But for the benefit of this lecture, I will just identify about five metrics or five ways or reasons why we go to school. One, we have to learn skill. When we go to school, we learn basic skills. School provide an environment where we can learn a lot of basic skills, especially how to read and write. When we go to school, we gain knowledge. The world has an abundance of knowledge and information. In school, we study different subjects that covers history, biology, art, literature, mathematics, physics, physical education, geography, and many more. And this helps us to become aware of the hard work and effort of our ancestors, the struggles of people from centuries ago, their successes, their mistakes, their poor choices, their excellent choices, all the wars and battles that shape the world, the beauty and intricacies of science, technology, and so on. And when we also go to school, we develop talents, because if we're interested in a particular task, we are interested in a particular subject, we are interested in a particular in a football, basketball, and all those things. If those are your area of strength, then when you go to school, you can join the basketball team, you can join the football team, and you can practice what really interests you. We also have, if you are interested in those that are bookworm, you can also belong to a book club. What I'm trying to say in essence is that apart from gaining knowledge and all that, school is also an avenue for us to socialize and allow us to participate in extraordinary extracurricular activities. We also learn from experts, from our lecturers, from our teachers. They are experts, they've seen the world, they are better than us. Then they are going to imbue in us some of the things they've known about life, about management, about how to grow in life, and about our future. And also in school, we also made friends. And that is why we are saying this new normal. I don't know how it's going to be, but because when we go to school, we meet our friends, we go together, we network, we hang out, we eat together, and all that. though on social media and even with online lecture and all that, we can still be able to network and do all those things. But there are some little basic ingredients that online cannot give us. We cannot hang out, go and eat together. But those are the part of the things that bring about bonding. In when we go to school, we have friends and we meet in future and all that. These are some of the reasons why we go to school. But in all, education is a key tool in life. School is a method of growth and expansion of character, and this is why one we always have reasons to go to school. But why going to school is very important and critical. Choosing the right course of study is also very paramount. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the reasons why we should study finance and commerce? One should never be intimidated in studying finance and commerce. In fact, everyone can and should have a basic understanding of finance and commerce. In life, the first thing our parents teach us as we begin to grow are finance and business, how to handle money, how to make money, how to save money, how to invest money, and so many other things. And when they are teaching us all that, what they are doing invariably is how to manage the business. That's the commerce aspect of our life. Like for example, when we were young, I learned a lot of things from my mother. I studied finance, first degree, second degree, and even third degree. But some of the basic principles of business and finance that my mother taught me are still with me even up to today. Like on savings, my mother will always tell me, if you cannot save from little, you cannot save from much. And that is, I learned that okay, from everything you earn, you must be able to save a small percentage of it. And that was before I started reading about Keynes and classical theories about finance, about banking. My mom and I, we operate a banking system. My mom was the banker. I happen to be the only customer, and withdrawal is done once a year. As when you put your money in bank, you have procedure you have to follow. Even with my mom too, we have procedure we have to follow. A carpenter very close to us made a box for us that and created a very small hole. All we do, by the time we get small money, we give to mom. You know, when you take your money to the bank, you have to talk to tellers and all that. You have a receipt to show that, okay, or a teller, something to show that, or pay slip, something to show that you have paid money to the account. In this banking with my mom, by the time you give money, the procedure you have to continue to remind mom that you have to go and put the money in the box. Then we put the money in the box, and the day we want to withdraw our money, we have to break the bank. We have to break our strong room, take away the money, use it for whatever we want to use it for. Most times we used to break the bank, adding my as I'm putting my own, mommy is also putting his own. Therefore, from that level, I started understanding banking and how to save. About investment, risk, and return. Well, my mom also told me a lot of things. Before I started reading about Harry Markowitz portfolio diversification theory, I know that my mom already told me that you cannot put your egg in one basket. That means we have to diversify. Before I started reading about Harry Markowitz. And I was also told that even in every investment proposal, there are risk and return. That when you involve yourself in business, there are risks you have to take and there are returns. But my mom will always tell me, even if you have to lose anything at all, ensure that you take calculated risk so that you don't lose your principal. If you have to lose anything, you can lose your interest, but don't allow anything to happen to your principal. Therefore, before I started reading about return and risk in finance and all the graph and other things, I already have it at the back of my mind that any business you are going to take calculated risk, don't lose your principal, and ensure that everything you do is you protect your principal. All these things are being taught me in an environment when I'm very okay, my senses were working well. There is no curriculum that were being followed like maybe in the normal school days, in the normal school teaching done in an hour that I'm very okay and all that. This teaching, despite my study of finance in first, second, and third degree, I still have those teaching with me up to today. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that's very critical is that a lot of people are talented, but they fail woefully in life because they couldn't manage the finance and business aspect of their talent. Look at some footballers, some musicians, some artists, some people they just succeed overnight. with what they are doing. Their business just got a boom, but because they cannot manage the business aspect of life, they fail woefully, and they were yesterday men or women. They succeeded yesterday, but today they rarely find what to eat because talent is not. Because being talented is not enough. How do we convert our talent into business is very important. How do we manage our talent as business is very important. How do we sustain our achievement, especially in finance and business wise, and even now and beyond. What will keep us successful is our proper understanding of business and finance. Because if that doesn't happen, our lack of understanding of finance and commerce will make our success to be temporal. There's no any field you go to, whether you're a medical doctor, you're an engineer, you're an artist, you are a scientist, if you don't, or technologist, if you don't have a proper understanding of finance and commerce, your success will be very temporal. Therefore, your proper understanding of your $1 today, that your $1 today is not the same thing as your $1 tomorrow, how you have to invest your money, are some of the fundamental principles or some of the fundamentals that you need in developing your financial literacy and preparing you to make smarter decisions throughout your life. Finance and commerce will definitely give you an edge. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to look at about 5 major reasons why we study finance. Because we study, we learn a trade, we learn a skill, we learn a profession in order for us to graduate and become somebody in life. Either we work for somebody or we create a job like Carnegie when he was giving her introduction. That was part of that. Most of us, when we are trained, we also want to become an entrepreneur. No matter what we study, we want to become an entrepreneur. We want to create our own. We want to create our own job. And we also want to solve a societal problem. We want to take care of ourselves, our medical, our finances, our housing needs, our feeding needs, and all that, and contribute to society. Therefore, a proper understanding of finance and commerce will give us that edge. And I have about 5 reasons that are itemized here that can guide us to know that finance and commerce is what we need to study, because it will give us an edge in life. One is finance and commerce are ubiquitous, because it doesn't matter where you want to work or where you have ambition of working in future, or the type of job you want to create, consulting, education, in the technology and all that. Your company will need cash flows to do some things like pay everyone's salary, distribute dividend, and even reinvest in product innovation. Even if you don't manage budget yourself, finance and commerce are a core business of a core aspect of every business decision making. If you are predicting a project or you are angling for additional funding, your understanding and being able to communicate how you can turn your investment into revenue for your organization will help you to make a more convincing argument. Finance and commerce will help your resume to stand out. If you are looking for ways to differentiate your resume, studying finance is a good place to start, especially if you are entering a workforce as a young professional without extensive experience. Showing in your resume that you have business knowledge will definitely stand you out. This is practically relevant even in the non-finance field. Everything you want to study, finance will definitely stand you out, especially when you want to land your job in managerial position. Having understanding of finance and business can demonstrate key competencies to employers. Graduate with training and skill are being able to understand their team's impact on the overall company and make well-informed business decisions. And that is why when we study every other course and all that, by the time we get to the business field and the working field of life, you see a lot of people going for MBA to ensure that they learn finance. When you go to MBA, majorly what you are learning is finance and business aspect of life. That's why you see a lot of people going for MBA, because finance majorly is a common denominator that impact all industry. The demand for finance skill is growing by the day geometrically. Finance and finance industry is also evolving. We talk about fintech now, a lot of payment system, cryptocurrency, and all that. Therefore, our understanding of finance will help us to keep with the growing field of finance, technology-wise, also known as fintech. All these things will help us to be able to manage our life properly, even after graduation. You also become a problem solver. finance and commerce involve formulas, Excel, spreadsheet, and ratio, but it also involves analyzing these numbers and turning them into actionable business insights. For example, if we consider the concept of value and its role in business, like I said before, that if you must be able to know that your $1 today is not the same thing as $1 tomorrow. Therefore, when you study finance, it makes you to understand the concept of value and the role of value in business. Learning commerce and finance will teach us how to understand the difference between price and value, how to create value, and how the future affect our value today. Learning how to take quantitative data and use this to solve problems and make some business decisions is a valuable skill that can serve you in your career now and even in the future. And when you also study finance, it's also important not only for office use alone. Finance is also important even outside the office. While understanding business and finance are critical to work, is also critical for our fiscal well-being outside the office, because every day we are faced with business and financial decisions, whether small financial decision, large financial decision, but we are faced with finance and business decision every day. Whether it is choosing to eat, pay your money, how do you want to finance your business, how do you want to send, maybe you want to get a loan from the bank, you have to prepare your cash budget, you have to be able to present your revenue profile to an organization. When you study finance, all these things are required skill that you need to have even when you are managing your own business. That is why those are some of the reasons why we study finance, because it can really give us an edge in our career pursuit. And when we talk about finance, we are talking about finance. It affects every aspect of and every person, because finance communicate the overall health of a business. Finance explain how an individual action impact the company's success. It create guidelines for future goals and initiatives, and it sets minimum metrics to determine performance across department. Commerce on its own is a stream of studies that is a stream that study trade and in business activities such as exchange of goods and services from producer to final consumer. And that is what we are trying to say, is that how to convert our skill or our talent to productive venture. And that in commerce, we study courses like economics, accounting, and business studies. Let's look at some business skills every profession needs, just to buttress our point that studying finance and commerce will give us an edge. To stay competitive in the job market, aspiring professionals, whether you're an engineer, healthcare professional, scientist, etc., and those who want to advance need a strong and diverse set of skills. Some of those skills can be technology skills, including understanding various analytical and software, scientific software, mathematical and scientific problem solving, critical thinking, effective communication, decision making, team management, and so on and so forth. All these skills are needed in addition to our technical knowledge to stay competitive and advance in our career. Therefore, to meet your job demand, it is important to have all these business basics at our fingertips. And that is why all these basic skills we are going to be taught in finance and commerce. Therefore, it's not only the theoretical aspect, we're also going to learn the practical aspect and both the soft and the hard skill to excel in life. Those are the things that finance and commerce are going to give us. Therefore, what are the skills that every leader needs, no matter their industry? And intuitive understanding of finance and commerce are indispensable part of every leader's toolkit. Knowing how to create and measure value can not only lead to smarter decision making in the workplace, but professional advancement and improved communication with stakeholders. If you are aiming to become more financially minded in your role and help your company thrive, you need all these basic skills that I'm going to discuss now. One, you need an understanding of financial statement. And when we are talking about financial statement, we are looking at balance sheet, because financial statements are just valuable resources for measuring the overall health of the company. Therefore, for you to be able to, there's no how you can be a manager without understanding the financial aspect, the overall health of the company. And when we are talking about what are the financial things that you need to understand, you need to understand balance sheet. And when we talk about balance sheet, it's a statement that shows the financial position of your company at specific point in time. You need to understand your income statement, a document that summarizes the entire earnings of your organization over a period of time. You need to understand the cash flow statement. That's a report that shows how much cash your company generated and used during a designated time frame. By understanding the data contained in this report, you can gain more complete picture of your organization's financial position and make better better business decision. Also, you also need to understand ratio analysis as a manager or as a leader of an organization. You need to understand ratio analysis. When we talk about ratio analysis, what we are talking about is that we are looking at ratio analysis effectively leverage your company balance sheet and other statement. If you are looking at other statement, is not only to know about it or to have that financial times. You must be able to compare them and be able to make some financial comparison between what has happened. You must be able to understand some of those metrics. Ratio analysis will provide us that toolkit for doing that. In financial analysis, ratio makes number meaningful by providing comparabilities across companies and time and how they fall, and all these fall into about 3 or 4 buckets. We look at liquidity ratio, the ratio that measures the risk of your business running out of cash. We talk about profitability ratio. That ratio can be used to assess your company's earning. We talk about leverage ratio, the ratio that examine how your company assets are financed by debt. You need to know the level of debt in your financial profile. You also talk about productivity ratio that gauge how well your firm uses its assets to produce output. Determine which ratio to employ in a given situation is also dependent on what you need to measure. For example, when you talk about profitability ratio, it measures return on asset, which can show how your company earning relative to its resources. Productivity ratio, on the other hand, measure your inventory turnover. That is how it reveals how many times your business sell out of inventory over a period of time. Therefore, when you understand all these key ratios, it will enable you to make some decision in growing your organization. And that is what finance and commerce will teach you. And these are some of the things that are life skills that you need to excel in your life. You also need we talk about cash flow management. In business, cash is king. And you see that in finance, you are being taught how to manage cash. How do you ensure that the cash are coming in? All these things are what is necessary. And when we talk about under cash flow, we talk about your earning before interest and tax. You talk about your taxes, your depreciation, amortization. When you want to take a loan, what are the series of payments you can make into a loan? You talk about your operating cash flow, your free cash flow, and all that. And aside all this, when a leader also need forecasting skill. Because in finance, you also must be able to forecast your business proposal. How will your business proposal be what will be the outcome of your business proposal? Even when your forecasting skill is also necessary when you are talking about even making presentation to bank in terms of getting loan. Because finance is intrinsically looking forward in order to determine the present worth of your project or asset. Finance examine how those values might change in a month time, in a year ahead. If you are aiming to make business decisions that will benefit your company over a long time, you need to know how to use available data and assumption to forecast your financial outcome. With forecasting, you can weigh the benefit of drawbacks of a project by using existing earning metrics and other factors, including taxes, depreciation, like I've said, to calculate what might be worth it. Therefore, all these things, like understanding financial statement, ratio analysis, cash flow management, forecasting are some of the things we are going to learn and finance. And there's no how you want to excel or succeed in business that you will not need to understand all these things. It's very critical. No matter what you study, and if you have deficiency in this area, you just have to go back to study finance and commerce. And that is why studying finance and commerce will definitely give us an edge. Therefore, to round up, let us just look at our take-home code. Our take-home code for this lecture is what I call shape future. What I mean is that we have to study finance and commerce to shape our future. And when we talk about shape future, we mean that when we study finance and commerce to shape our future, because when we study finance and commerce, we'll be able to learn transferable skills, we're able to enjoy high earning potentials, we have the ability to change, to challenge ourselves. We can balance theory with practice. We can continue our education, and we are able to mix a strong forecasting and analytical skill with our passion. We are able to use our study to broaden our horizon. When Kanaku was making her introductory speech, said finance and commerce will definitely broaden our horizon. I just laughed. I said, well, that is part of what I think she must have peeped into my paper, because finance and commerce will definitely broaden our horizon. When we study finance and commerce, we also gain global perspective. Ultimately, we enjoy high demand, and we are able to realize our dream of becoming our own boss, and we learn the essentials of effective managerial skill. I want us to take all this code one by one. From S, we talk about learning transferable skill. The skill you learn in commerce and finance can be easily transferred and adapted to just about any future career or job position you can just imagine. The study places a huge focus on teaching students the ability to think critically, to solve problems in innovative ways, and to manage their time logically. These are soft skills that are very important, that are very germane to succeed in life. Ability to think logically, ability to solve problems in an innovative way, and ability to manage our time logically. And some other skills you can expect to learn in when you study finance and commerce are presentation and report writing skill, resource management skill, self-motivation and interpretation of financial data. All these are skills that will be useful in any job you find yourself in, the corporate world, or even immediately after your graduation, or in any business you want to get into. That was the ability to think critically and make quick decisions on your feet will serve you well, not just in your as a career capacity, but even in your day-to-day life. All these things are important in our day-to-day life. When you talk about age, we have high earning potential. A degree in commerce and finance will yield you some of the highest earning potential, both immediately following graduation and even later in future. Also, ability to challenge yourself. If you are looking for challenges, finance and commerce is just the best program for you to engage yourself in. When you make it through finance and commerce study, you'll be able to emerge with logical thinking. I think I mentioned that you're able to come out with logical thinking, and you have knowledge, and you have the knowledge you need to take on any numbers or challenges in life, both career-wise and otherwise. If you are the type of person that people always turn to seek for advice or to solve problems, finance and commerce will help you out to be able to know how to give better advice. When we talk about P, we're able to balance theory with practice. If you are the learner who get bored or overwhelmed with too much theoretical discussion in the classroom, or too much practice, or not enough theories, guess what? If you study finance and commerce, it will give you a perfect blend of theory and practice. You will spend about half the time learning about different theories and models, as well as plenty of time going hands-on and putting that theory into practice. This is especially true if you're able to get accepted into a reputable business school that has relationship with established local businesses. You can make you need opportunity for yourself in internship, in similar reward. Even now, after graduation, or even when you are doing internship before graduation, some organization will require finance and commerce students to come and help them in doing internship in their organization. Also, you can continue your education. I said earlier that by the time you study other courses and you get to the real world of business, and you see that you are lacking in some of the skills that you need to possess to be a leader or to be a manager, like how to interpret financial data and all that. You see a lot of people. That's why you see when you get to MBA class, you see MBA class are always packed full. And what are people learning under MBA study? All they are trying to do is that they are trying to learn finance and commerce. Therefore, if you have the basic in finance and commerce, you already have a degree. By the time you want to continue your education, it gives you an edge to know what to do and all that, and even to further your education and excel better than any other person that is just coming in. Also, when you talk about F, you are able to mix your strong forecasting analytical state with your passion. You want to request for loan from the bank, you want to make financial projection, and you are able to think critically, logically, and especially when your passion, it also help you to market, to make business out of your passion. And that is what finance will teach you how to do, because everything, whether your passion, your talent, anything you want to do in life, you want to achieve success, business success. And when you want to achieve your business success, it means that you want to be financially buoyant, you want to be financially okay. Therefore, when you have when you study commerce and business, it teach you how to handle the business aspect of your passion, business aspect of your talent, and how you can be able to manage your finance properly, so that you don't just come up and today and come up successful today and tomorrow you crash. That what when you study finance and commerce, it will also broaden your horizon. It will also broaden your horizon, even if you don't see yourself working as a business development manager, accountant, or finance manager. A degree in finance and commerce can help you truly broaden your horizon and pursue your passion successfully. For example, you want to be making jewelry and all that, and someday you want to have your own business, make jewelry and all that. Then you will know how you are, because making jewelry is just one of the things. For you to be successful in business, you need to know how to write detailed, viable financial plan, obtain finances for your business, track your business profit and losses, and be comfortable with many other aspects of business management in order to keep your business profitable. These experiences will be given to you when you study finance and business. Therefore, it broadens your horizon. And apart from that, when you study finance and commerce, you gain global perspective, because students are trained in finance and commerce to think globally. You also enjoy high demand. There's a huge demand for graduates in finance and commerce in today's economy. This trend is not showing any sign of going down soon. Whether you prefer to stay locally in your environment after your graduation, or you are interested in moving across the country or even across the globe, graduates in finance and commerce tend to have little issue landing work after completing their studies. And you can also realize your dream of becoming your own boss, because who doesn't have a dream of someday being his or her own boss? The skill you learn in finance and commerce program can help you to make that dream a reality, from knowing how to more wisely manage your money, to learning the in and out of writing a business plan or finding your own client. You will also have the skill you need to start your own business, how to grow your own business, I started by saying we have been taught how to manage money, how to invest money, how to make money and all that. And how to even get your customer, because when you talk about finance, you also talk about, we talk about marketing. How do you market? How do you forecast and all those things? Whether you dream of running your own large organization, or you simply want to work as an independent contractor, or you want to work for somebody, a degree in finance will make way for you to the part of financial independence. And the last but not the least, the E, is that when you study finance, you are able to learn the essential or effective managerial skill. As a manager, you must be able to have three major skills. We talk about technical skill, conceptual skill, and interpersonal skill. When we talk about technical skill, is that talking about the skill that you need to perform your role effectively and efficiently. When we talk about conceptual skill, it's about skill that you need to see an organization as a whole, and how to be able to manage departments, directorate for the success of the organization. When we talk about interpersonal skill is very critical to our success, because when you don't manage the human aspect of your success, definitely your business will fail. Therefore, when you study finance and commerce, it will teach us the essential of effective managerial skill, like planning. We have to plan, because if you fail to plan, we are already planning to fail. We have to plan our finances, we have to plan our human resources needs, we have to plan our resources need. But when you study finance, it will help us to engage in all this planning and within the organization. Therefore, when we study finance, we can plan very well. We're able to communicate We know effective way of communicating very well to ensure that we communicate our expectations and our intentions to our customers. We communicate to our staff and all that. We communicate, we listen. And when we study finance, when we are talking about communication, you also communicate to we listen to respond, not to react, because most times you see people listening to react. But when we go through training in finance and commerce, we have been taught to listen to respond. And all these things are very important skill, that soft skill that a manager must possess. Decision making is very important. Management essential skill. Delegation, you just have to delegate so that you cannot carry all the job by yourself. Problem solving skill, because you have a lot of models you can use to solve problems in finance. We talk about net present value, profitability index, scenario analysis, sensitivity analysis. There are so many models that you can be taught in finance and commerce that will be able to know how you can be able to appraise your business and know which business proposal to really invest your money in. Also motivation, how to motivate yourself, how to motivate your employees, how do you make sure that everybody work in sync to the growth of the organization. These are some of the skills that studying finance and commerce will give to you. And in conclusion, when you study finance and commerce, you have a wide range of specific area of study available to you based on your interest, from accounting and business management to finance and business administration. The possibilities are nearly endless. On top of that, there are numerous other reasons to consider a degree in finance and commerce, regardless of your future career aspiration. Therefore, what we are saying today is that you have to secure an edge by studying finance and or commerce in order to shape your future. And like I said, I just want to repeat all over again. When we talk about shaping your future, we are talking about when in finance and commerce, you learn transferable skill, you enjoy high earning potential, your ability to challenge yourself, you balance theory with practice, you continue your education, you are able to mix strong forecasting and analytical skill with your passion, you use your study to broaden your horizon, you study to gain global perspective. Ultimately, you enjoy high demand and you realize your dream of becoming your own boss eventually, and you learn the essential of effective managerial skill. Thank you very much. Hello.
Yes, yes. Participants, YouTube participants, if you have any questions, you can pop it on the chat box. Sunday would love to answer your questions. Sunday, I will coordinate if there is questions on the YouTube so that we can answer to the participants.
Okay.
Your participants, you can post your questions on the YouTube chat box.
You can ask for questions and or comments.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Ayyapparajan, sir, if you have any questions, you can probably ask questions.
Pardon?
No, I was asking others who are on the Google Hangout also can ask questions to you.
Okay, okay.
So comments on the YouTube chat box is it's a very good presentation and nice session. So these are all the comments which is flowing now.
Probably they all very clear about the presentation.
Probably is the long silence. So we will take it as a no questions.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, Pati. We conclude.
Yes. Yeah, we can conclude, ma'am. So, Sunday, do you have any specific points to share with the learning community, that is the participants who are here?
I think what I would like to say about, can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
okay.
yeah.
What I would like to say is that, in for the learning community, the institution and all that, all I would like to say is that we just some of the things I've just said. I'm going to send them the presentation slides to you so that you can share with maybe all the participants and the faculty. But I will also want a trend whereby we begin to incorporate. You can see some of those things that I identify in shape feature. All those things, I want us to incorporate some of those things into our curriculum. You know, when we study finance, when we study,
That's great.
hello.
Yeah, that's
When we
great.
study when we study finance and business, the whole gamut of what the students will get in the world of work need to be imbued in them, like how all these soft, both a lot of soft skill, therefore some of these things can be incorporated into our curriculum. That's number one. Number two is that some of these type of programs should be a continuous thing. I do it regularly in Nigeria. We call it a town and gown meeting, when we bring professionals from the field, from the world of work, to go to school and be able to help these students, train them on especially area of business, area of finance, and what they are expected to do. That we this type of forum we are supposed to do it as regular as possible, maybe once or twice in a semester, to be able to get our students and begin to prepare them for the world of work, so that when they go out, they, apart from the technical know-how that has been built in them through their training, they also need some of these soft skill, presentation skill, communication skill, critical decision making skill, and all these things. All these things are very necessary. These are some of the things that are required in the world of work, and some of these things are things we can begin to imbue in them by the time we begin to do what we call town and gown relation. That's what we call it here in Nigeria. Town and gown relation. And that is not only having the technical skill alone, you also need some of these soft skill that are required to be able to excel in the world of work. Those are some of the things I think I want to add in to what I've just said. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sunday. And here there is a question for you. Explain about a financial decision.
Okay, thank you very, very much. You know, I said something that every leader need a skill. You need a skill you must possess. Every leader, every manager. Like when we talk about financial decision, we are talking about how do you want to a proper understanding of your financial statement. How do you want to talk about your financial statement, your finances? Because finance is all talking about money. How do you gain money? How do you make money? How do you invest money? Financial, if you are not even going more theoretical, to explain a basic to you, is that when you talk about financial decision, it means how do you make money? How do you invest money? And how do you distribute this money to the owners of money. And that's why when we talk about financial decision, we are looking at in theoretical palace, we are looking at about 3 or 4 decisions that a manager must take. When we talk about investment decision, we talk about financing decision, we talk about dividend decision. Investment decision, you have to look at a lot of investment proposals. Like I've just said, when you want to invest your money, you have to look at various investment proposals. Every investment proposal has its own risk and return. Therefore, you must be able to come up and balance the risk and return, because you don't want to involve yourself in a business that will crash today, or you just excel and after 1 year it's gone. Therefore, you have to be able to know how to manage risk and return. You get a perfect blend, and that is why you begin to do a lot of analysis like net present value, profitability index, sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis. You begin to involve some of these models in taking your internal rate of return, and a lot of models are in finance for you to help you to take your investment decision. But when you talk about investment decision, when you are already through, okay, you are sure that this is what the product you want to invest in, or this is your investment proposal, you also begin to look at how to finance it. How do you finance your business decision? You have access to equity, you have debt. You must be able to get a perfect blend of whether equity and finance. You must involve in your business. You must be able to look at the advantages and disadvantages of going fully on equity. You must be able to look at the advantages and disadvantages of going fully on debt. And therefore, as a finance manager, or in taking your finance decision, you must be able to get a perfect mix between equity and debt in your financial decision. And the third aspect of your financial decision, we are looking at dividend. How do you pay dividend to stakeholders? Because when you talk about equity, that means you have advertised, a lot of people have subscribed into your business, or you've gone to stock exchange and all that. Even if it's borrowing from friends and all that, or you have even asked your friend to support you, even if you use your own money that you have taken out of your savings to invest in business, you want to pay back, then you have to begin to look at how to take dividend decision. How are you going to pay back? How are you going to take? Are you going to pay all your profit as dividend? Are you going to retain some of your profits and to expand the business? And that's why we talk about business product innovations. How are you going to invest all your profit for that? Are you going to give share bonus to your investors, or you are going to distribute all your profit to your investors, or you are going to even carry everything as your profit and share it? And because you also need, how resources are also begging for your attention, that okay, resources, you have to be able to finance your resources. How do you do all these things and keep your organization going? Therefore, you need to take decision on dividend, on how to pay back to the owners of finance and people that have invested in the business. Also, you need to balance profitability and liquidity. It's also very, very important, very important decision that you have to take in finance, because you cannot continue to tie down your profit by just investing in stock. You cannot also afford stock out by because that will affect your profit. You must be able to get a balance between the two. Therefore, when we talk about the whole gamut of financial decision, it's about getting a balance between maybe risk and return, equity and finance, profitability and liquidity, and decision making in regard to dividend payment to your suppliers or fund, or even how to pay debt. These are what financial decision is all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sunday. And here is another question by Mr. Vijay Kumar. What are the challenges will happen in e-commerce field after COVID-19?
Thank you very much. COVID-19 has brought us a new normal, and like I said, a lot of, when we have any change, it will bring about a lot of positives. It will bring about a lot of negatives. When we look at the e-commerce business, like when the COVID-19 started, a lot of organizations have died. A lot are dying. A lot, we don't even know whether they are dying or they are still alive, because they are just not, they are still breathing. They are in ICU units. They are not, we don't know whether they are still, whether they are not dead because they are still breathing, but they are not really working. They are not making anything out of it. And what we are trying to say is that, what is the driver? Well, for us to know the changes that will happen in e-commerce after COVID-19, what is even the driver of the change now is technology. As a lot of organizations are dying and all that, a lot of organizations are also smiling to the bank. They are Alibabas of this world. Now we are using Zoom, Google Hangout, webinar, all these things did not start yesterday. In Nigeria, we talk about DSTV. That is our. We talk about DSTV. We talk about Netflix. A lot of things, because when you tell people to sit at home, they must engage themselves. And a lot of people now, they don't want to get into cash. They don't want to get into cash transaction. They want to go on their phone, on their laptop. They make payment. They order goods. Therefore, in the e-commerce business, we have to take what will make significant change is how we are able to adapt ourselves to the use of technology, because technology is the new driver of this change. And the change has been there, technology has been there, but we have never used it like we are using it now, because as COVID-19 has now permitted, look, a lot of people, you can order anything online. Even food, you can order food online, go get to the app and all that. Therefore, the e-commerce is really going. Our business now must take advantage of technology. On Instagram, you can advertise. Our marketing now, one-on-one marketing may not be as productive now as, or reach a lot of people. Like talk about, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, you go on a lot of social media handles that will be able to help us to market our products. Therefore, technology is the changes we are going to have now in post-COVID-19 is how we are able to adapt ourselves to technology. And that's why I said the changes are here. Is either we adapt to it or we are left behind with its attendant consequences. You cannot say you want to run your business now and you don't want to take advantage of technology. Even your payment, people don't want to pay cash to you any longer. You cannot say, oh, they must bring in cash to you. You must take advantage of technology because people want to pay online. You cannot say they have to come to you to pick your business. I can order something from India, I pay, I do everything, and the order will be sent to me. And in Nigeria, even at my doorstep, I may not need to go out. I pick those goods. I met party, we met online, and now we are friends. Therefore, in e-commerce, in relationship, everything now is being dictated and defined by technology. The amount of investment we have in technology and how we're able to adapt to the use of technology will help us well in facing the challenges of being successful in our business, even during this COVID-19 and even post-COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bello. I guess you have given a very elaborated answer to the participants, and there are not much questions to proceed. So I guess we can conclude the session. Dr. Kanagathanam, ma'am, shall we conclude it?
Yes. Yeah, please, Pati.
Yes. I would like to present my vote of thanks to everyone for the session. Especially, I would like to thank the entire management, Nehru Group of Institutions management, the trustees, and the principal, Dr. B. Anirudhan, and Dr. Kanagaratnam, who is the head of the Department of Commerce, and Dr. Ayyapparajan, who was a coordinator in this program, and my team, my CEO, Mr. Rajkumar Nadraj, who always give us a very good freedom to conduct such a session. So thank you so much, Raj, and my beloved team, Gijo and Vignesh, who was completely behind the screen to make this event a successful one. And once again, there is no words to thank the participants whenever we come up with such a kind of webinar sessions, who come and participate in all our YouTube channels and other medias, and get insight about the complete industry exposure. So thank you so much, participants, for giving us such a response. And last but not least, I thank the today's speaker, Sunday Ade Bello, who was spent his valuable time. And when I asked him to deliver the session, he immediately accepted, and he was very happy and excited to deliver the session for the Indian learning community. And thank you so much, Sunday, for accepting the session and spending such a good time and giving a wonderful expertise to the students. And hope everyone would have got benefited, and they will come out of large basis on your words. Thank you so much for your wonderful words, and so kind of you, Sunday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
and we are looking forward more sessions and more activities join hands with you along with the Nehru group of institutions.
No problem. You are welcome. I'm available for that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. From Nehru Group of Institution, the management, principal, and the entire faculty members, we are delighted to thank you, Sunday. It was really a wonderful presentation. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Looking forward to cooperate with you and collaboration with you in future endeavors too.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you so much, ma'am.
to Pati, Rajkumar, and Gijo team. Without you, this would not be a fruitful one. Thank you all once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you,
you,
sir.
sir. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pati,
And
sir, and team. And Sunday, sir, thank you for your valuable session, sir. It's a wonderful
Thank you,
session.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And the participants, the YouTube link is given in the YouTube chat box. You can fill the feedback link. You will get the certificate automatically. If there is any issues on the certificate, probably you can contact a Zillion Cube's support team. They will get it rectified. So the YouTube participants, there is a link which is shared in the description box as well as on the chat box. You can follow the link and submit your feedback. Thank you so much, one and all. So, thank you, Sunday. I'll come to you on a WhatsApp call personally.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we can go off now.
Yeah. You're right. Thank you. Which is shared in the
Thank you very
description
much.
box
Thank you.
as well as on the chat box. You can